Hi everybody, it's Bethany and welcome to Saturday Night Live. Today is our first studio session, so we're just going to craft together or just relax together and chat. I'm going to show off a few things, but feel free to just hit play and set your phone aside and just listen. Once we get to kind of the open crafting and just kind of chatting portion, I will make sure that I play some kind of quiet, mellow music in the background so you can just relax and go about what you are planning to do. Thank you for joining us. Like, this is really exciting to me to be able to have this ability to connect to other crafters or other people who have similar interests to me. And I kind of wanted to use these studio sessions as just a way for you to kind of get to know me a little bit more, the types of things that I like and the types of things that I get up to in my free time. I did want to mention, not sponsored at all, I'm wearing my Knit the Rainbow t-shirt. I also ordered a tote bag. It's super fun. It almost stands up on its own. It's made out of some sort of nylon, like reinforced nylon. Again, I'm not sponsored by Knit the Rainbow at all, but I love this charity and I have been donating to them for a little while now. They are out of New York City and they are a charity that collects winter wear, hats, scarves, sweaters, socks, those types of mittens and gloves, those types of things, and they hand them out directly to LGBTQ youth in New York City so that they can have some warmth during the winter seasons and the very cold seasons. They also take cash donations. I've done that in the past as well. Again, like I said, I'm not sponsored. They have active chapters in 4 other states. I don't know them off the top of my head. I will make sure to link their website down in the information on this video, but I love this charity. They're so great and they've been doing so much good in the community to help these kids who don't have the warm clothes that they need during these brutal winter months. So like I said, I love them, I love supporting them, and I'll link their information down below. My nose is really itchy today. Sorry for that. So you see me itching my nose is just because allergies. It is the season. Anyway, a few announcements in the fiber community. Here are some things that are going on that I have personally either invested in or have reached me somehow that I kind of want to give you the information about. If you're not familiar, Pom Pom Magazine is a great knitting / crochet magazine that has been around for a long time. They're great. Their publications are very high quality paper with a very nice cover, and they publish, I think, quarterly. So winter, spring, summer, fall, I believe. And they are shutting down, unfortunately. It's very, very sad. After publishing 48 issues, they are done printing. I will make sure to link their website address down below, and because they are closing, they are having a sale right now, 50% off any print copies of back issues. That does not include the last 2 issues, which are 47 and 48. 47 is in print right now and 48 is a pre-order. So I went ahead and I took advantage of that sale. I was only able to get my hands on 1 back copy that I was looking for. The other 3 were digital. So I did pick up issue 44. It has a lot of fun spring colors. It's called Layers and Layers. Like I said, if you are interested in Pom Pom Magazine's sale while they still have some back issues left, check them out. Like I said, it does not include their latest 2 issues, which are 47 and 48. You can still buy them, they're just not part of the 50% off sale. Some other news coming up for the holiday season. Stephen West, if you're not familiar with him from my last video, is one of my favorite knitwear designers, He has been, I want to say, since 2018, maybe 2019, 2018, been doing what he calls a hybrid knit along. So hibernation, knit along. And this year it starts on December 26th, the cast on. Obviously you can start it anytime earlier, but like the group cast on is starting December 26th. So he's still selling kits, I think, on his website. I'm not sure about that information. Again, I'll link it down below. I bought my pattern, just the pattern, early. This is what it's called. It's called the Glittering Snowscape Shawl. This is all over his Instagram page and his social media page. And if you subscribe to his newsletter, you'll know about this. So this is not a mystery knitting project. You can download the pattern, which is 10 pages because I print my patterns. It requires, 5 colors. 5 colors of fingering weight. It doesn't say here, I haven't quite read through it all the way, but it is a wingspan type of shawl. Let me see if I can get a better. There's the back of it. So it's kind of an ombre situation. Obviously you can do whatever you want, and I misread because I do, and I'm human, and I just grabbed 4 skeins. So obviously mine's purple. I will have to grab 1 more skein from my stash. And I picked up some yarn from my local yarn shop for this. This is my go-to for fingering weight yarn or sock weight in solids, not semi-solids, but full solids. And it's Cascade Heritage. This is a commercially dyed yarn, so obviously it comes in color, lot numbers, and it's readily available at most local yarn shops, and also on their website. I will link both Cascade's website down below and also the yarn shop where I purchased this, so if you want to support local. So I think that's all I have as far as, one more thing. Hedgehog Fibers. Let me go grab it really quick. Okay, I'm back. Hedgehog Fibers, if you're not familiar with them, they are another one of my favorite, not only knitwear designers, but their speckly yarn. Here, I have 3 of them here. Look at how beautiful that is. These aren't even the same colorway, but and these are just potlucks. These are just random skeins. Their yarn is beautiful, but they release so many amazing free patterns on their website. All you have to do is plug in your email address and it's free. Anyway, their newest one that they released for Advent season, for all your mini skeins, Advent, stash busting, knitting, is called the, I am going to butcher this, Pelargonium. And it is a parallelogram type of shawl knit with chevron stitches. It is beautiful, and I can't wait to dive into my stash and make this with some of my speckly scraps. So go grab yourself a copy of this on Hedgehog Fibers. I will make sure to link that down below as well, and check out their other patterns. They're great. There's so many really cool patterns, shawls, hats, scarves, some sweaters in there. I think there might be a pair of mittens or mitts and some socks. Check their stuff out. It's really great. And subscribe to their newsletter so you know when they come out with cool new patterns. Okay, so with that out of the way, I'm going to take off my watch because it likes to tell me that I'm doing a great job working out and I burned so many calories when I'm knitting. And I'm going to be knitting on my current Musselboro hat. This is out of some mystery sock yarn. As in, I don't know where the label is, but it's sock yarn. And funny enough, it matches my manicure. I took this with me when I visited Stan Hewitt Hall recently for their Deck the Halls lights display, and it was just fun to go around and look at all the lights and sit down every so often and knit a row or two. It was really nice. And for having lived near Stan Hewitt for most of my life, I can't believe that I've never been able to go. Every time an opportunity came up to go, something else came up and I wasn't able to go. And so finally this time I was able to go. My husband's schedule didn't match up with mine very well, so I went by myself. But you know what? It was nice. It was nice to just meander. I took a ton of pictures, and I can't wait to go back again during the daytime, maybe in the spring, and see the gardens. If you haven't been and you're local to the Akron area, check it out. Stan Hewitt Hall. It's so cool there. This year for Christmas, we are going to be super low-key. We're visiting my parents and my in-laws, and that's basically it. We're just gonna kind of chill the rest of the time. It's really nice. I'm working a job where I have some leftover PTO at the end of the year that I can use at the holidays, and my husband's working a great job where his boss is like, yeah, if you get everything done by this day, you can take some time off. So this is gonna be great, relaxing time for us to just decompress from a busy year and get ready to start a new year. We just had, my Fiber Guild just had our Christmas party. It was really fun. We did an ornament or handmade item exchange and played some Christmas themed games and had some snacks, and all just kind of got together in this really cool old school house nearby. It was really nostalgic, and when I say old, I mean old, like 1800s, early 1900s old. It was really cool though. They had a lot of displays in the schoolhouse of like toys and things all the way up into like the 70s and 80s, which was really cool because some of those I remember. So yeah, that was really fun. This is the first year, and I've been a part of a Fiber Guild for almost 12 years now, various Fiber Guilds from moving different places. This is the first time I've actually been able to go to one of the holiday parties, which was very exciting to me because I have been trying to get more involved in the fiber community near me, and make more in-person friends. So this was nice. The first thing out of their mouth was they always laugh at me because I'm probably the only one that's knitting during the meetings. It just keeps me focused to be able to, my hands are busy, so I'm not fidgeting and I can focus fully on what's happening. So they always make fun of me when I'm not. And so the first thing they said when I sat down is, oh, you didn't bring your knitting. And funny enough, I had. And they're like, oh, I can't believe you actually brought it with you. I had come from that morning on Saturday mornings, I knit at my local yarn shop. I had come from there straight to the party. So that was a little chuckle where they always laugh at me about that. It's all in good fun. So keeps me busy, and then I get farther on my project. I have been knitting, I should say we have been watching a lot of Christmas and holiday movies. I'm just gonna name them. Violent Night twice, we watched it. So we watched it when it came out around Christmas time or New Year's last year, and we really enjoyed it. We have pretty eclectic tastes when it comes to movies, and so this Christmas, it was available on one of our streaming services, and we decided to watch it one night, and then my son the next night hadn't watched it with us the first time. He goes, because we've been switching back and forth, so I'll pick a movie, my husband will pick a movie, my son will pick a movie, everybody gets a chance. and sometimes a couple a night, because the classic Christmas movies aren't very long, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes at the most. Anyway, we had watched it, and then my son goes, oh, I want to pick. And what's he pick? Violent Night. So 2 nights in a row we watched Violent Night, and I wasn't complaining. It's a good movie. If you like action and you don't mind swearing and a little bit of blood because it's an action movie, I would suggest it. It's a great movie. Obviously not for little ones, but you know, it's great. He's old enough he can watch it. What else did we watch? We started rewatching the Harry Potter movies. Whatever you want to say about the author of Harry Potter, I'm not going to get into politics. However, we rewatch them every so often because we've already paid for them. The money's already in her pocket. And for me, it's nostalgia. I grew up on those books. I grew up on it. And while I may not want to put more money in her pocket, it's not really about her. It's about my memories. So I'm not going to let that taint anything for me. So we just finished the 4th movie. Every couple days we watch another one. So we still have 5, 6, 7, and 8 part 1 and 2. So we still have 4 movies left. We've been making our way through all the Rankin and Bass movies. If you're not familiar with that, Rankin and Bass made the classic stop motion Christmas movies like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, A Year Without a Santa Claus, Frosty's Christmas in July, Rudolph and His Shiny New Year, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all of those, you know, Little Drummer Boy, Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey, those are all Rankin and Bass movies. So we've been making our way through those. I can't even name all the ones we've watched, and there's still plenty left. We watched Jingle All the Way, and then we had to follow that up, obviously, with Kindergarten Cop. Even though it's not really a Christmas movie, we had to. We watched the original Grinch and the newer DreamWorks Grinch. We are a fan of both versions. I actually also like the Jim Carrey's Grinch. My husband not so much, so I might watch that guilty pleasure alone. We had to watch Charlie Brown's Christmas, and my husband is a big Garfield fan. So he grew up on Garfield's Christmas, and funny enough, we found Garfield's Thanksgiving too, which we didn't think we could find. So we were able to find that and watch that as well, since we didn't watch it for Thanksgiving. Let me think, what else have we watched for Christmas movies? I want to say there's a few more in there that we've watched. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Oh, we watched Klaus. That is one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's great. If you don't know about Klaus, it's a great Santa Claus origin movie type of thing with a Scandinavian background. It's really nice. We watch it every year, and we'll probably watch Arthur Christmas coming up soon too, and Crash Landing. I don't remember. There's one with elves in it. Anyway, I have been watching other things other than holiday movies. I have been binging over Under the Dome. I know I'm a little late on that one, but I have this personality where if someone recommends something to me and I'm not in the mood for a recommendation, I will just not watch it. I will fully not watch it and then I will forget about it. And it's not that I'm doing it out of spite. It's more that because I wasn't in the mood, I didn't want to hear about it. Kind of like if you're planning to do the dishes and you just want to give yourself an extra 15 minutes to sit down and someone walks in the room and says, huh, the dishes really need done. Your brain goes, nope, not doing dishes. That's what happens to me. Anyway, and so someone had recommended it to me and I'm like, oh, sure. And then moved on. And then I really needed a show to watch that I could just binge while I was knitting that wasn't holiday. And Under the Dome came up as I was searching through my different streaming services, and I'm like, you know what? I think I remember someone telling me this is good. I'm gonna watch it. So I did. I'm on season 2. So far, I like it, and I hate so many of the characters, and apparently that's what I should feel. So that's great. It's fine for me. I'm also watching slowly but surely because it's not all out yet. Lessons in Chemistry. I'm really enjoying it so far. I liked the book, so I am also enjoying the show. I think it's on Apple TV right now. But anyway, it's very enjoyable. And the reason I wanted to start Under the Dome is because I had started watching Loki a while ago when it first came out. And then something happened, moving probably, and lost track of what I was watching and fell very far behind in the show, and then just ended up hyper focusing on something new. So I wanted to pick it back up, and I started picking it back up, but it's not something that I can watch, I think, without paying attention. There's too much happening in it that it's not something that I can watch while I'm reading or watch while I'm knitting. So that's more of a sit and just pay attention to it, and I don't know that I have the capacity to do that right now. So Loki's on hold. I'm still in season 1. I think I'm on like episode 5. I'm so behind on that, but you know what? I don't subscribe to the whole everybody has to be watching the same thing. This is 2023, almost 2024. Everybody's got their own pace to do things. Fall of the House of Usher, I rewatched it. This is the 3rd time I've watched it. I am a massive Edgar Allan Poe geek. I love all of his short stories and his poems. And every time I rewatch this series, this limited series, I catch something new that I didn't catch the first time or the second time. And I'm really enjoying it. If you're a fan of psychological horror with a little bit of gore and a lot of not quite prose, I would say, but literary hubris, definitely watch Fall of the House of Usher, especially if you're a big fan of Edgar Allan Poe and his short stories. There's so many little nuanced details that sneak in there. It's great show. Even if it's not like spooky season currently, it's still a great show. The same people who did The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor did the Fall of the House of Usher. So you're going to recognize some of the actors are also in those movies. My throat is getting dry. I never talk this much. I haven't been doing much reading lately, partially because I just finished a series, or refinished a series, the Mercy Thompson series. I've been rereading it, and I needed something that was gonna be easy, and because the Mercy Thompson series, it is a long series. There are a lot of books. I think there's 14 books now, 12 or 14. And they're very detailed and they're very in-depth and they suck you into the world. And I needed something that was a little bit lighter. So I've been doing a lot of nostalgic reading, and so I started to dive into the Oz series. I think there's 14 or 15 books in the series, and they're all short, so I didn't want to actually physically read. I've been trying to focus on working my way through my projects and my whips. Excuse me. So I wanted to be able to just listen to it to and from work, listen to it while I'm cleaning or whatever. So I used my Audible credit this month and I worked through, or I bought a compilation. Obviously there's so many different options for voice actors and stuff. And it took me, I want to say, a couple days of going through and testing the samples to find a narrator that I liked. So I picked that up, and I think I'm on book 2. I'm on I think it's book 2. I don't remember in my head. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying that. I also have been reading a couple of Korean graphic novels. I think they're called manhwa, which is the equivalent of manga, but it's in Korean. These are English translations, and the 2 that I have been reading are versions of like what would happen if, they're called isekais. And an isekai, basically, if you're not familiar with that genre, is you're from this world, something happens, whether you get sick or you get hit by a car or you know, you die of overwork is the typical trope, and you wake up in another world. In a pre-established character, basically in chaos. You wake up in that character's body and you're them now. With their memories, sometimes you don't have their memories, and you have to basically live their life out now because your life is over and whoever they were is gone, but now you're in their body. And so you have to essentially function as them. So in these 2 books, one of them is called the So, like as in sewing, So Wicked Stepmother or Stepmom. And again, she wakes up in the stepmom's body, and in the past the stepmom was this horribly mean person to her stepdaughter, and now that she's woken up, she realizes that's not how she should be treated. This girl is adorable, and she's so sweet and lovely and kind and prim and proper. She needs to be taken care of. And so she goes through the story living this person's life, and basically tries to change the way that the stepdaughter is being treated. The other one that I'm reading is called Villains Are Destined to Die. This girl gets sucked into a dating simulation game, where she is the villain of the game, and she has to try to make it through without dying. Every step that she takes and every move she makes. Now the song's stuck in my head. It's probably stuck in your head too now. But every decision that she makes could potentially trigger one of the romanceable characters to kill her. And so it's very intense. You know, if you're one of those people that gets sucked into books, it's like, oh my God, you feel for her. You're like, oh no, don't make that decision. Oh no, what if she makes that decision? And so it's a really good book. If you're into graphic novels, these are great, full color, deep stories. Obviously they're not deep because they are like fairy tales or video game type of things. But if you're into that type of thing, I would definitely recommend them. So Wicked Stepmom has 2 books out currently, and Villains Are Destined to Die, I think, has 6. The 6th one was just released recently. Video games, I haven't really been playing video games not much, again, because I've been focusing more on my knitting. But what I have been playing is, I played Coffee Talk, the first part, twice through. I'm on my 3rd run through. Gotta get those, unlock every option possible before I play the 2nd game. The other one I've been playing is Potion Permit. Now, I first played this game on PC. I got really into it on PC and in the demo. And then when I found out that the demo wasn't going to transfer over to the full game, I was a little disappointed, but that's okay, because I had been able to unlock enough that when I got downloaded the full game, I got a couple bonuses, and I kind of knew how some things were going to work based on, you know, my demo play. And then it was released for the Switch at a discount. So I got it for the Switch too. And right now they have their holiday DLC available. I haven't checked to see if it's actually costs anything, but I'll probably download that and play that for a little while over the holidays during my time off. So that's exciting. The other one I've been playing, which is another indie game. If you can't tell, I like this cozier type of independent games that are either open-ended, so there's a way for you to beat the game, but there's still a lot of content for you to unlock later on. Or I like the ones that I can play through in a couple days, and those are fun. Anyway, another one I've been playing is called In Bento, and if you don't know what a bento is a Japanese style lunchbox. And In Bento is a puzzle game that uses pixels that are shaped like the different things that you would put in a bento box, like egg or rice or sushi or fish, bonito flakes, those types of things. And you move the blocks around kind of Tetris style to fill the bento box and complete the level. So it's just a nice relaxing puzzle type game. It's really inexpensive, still on sale in the Nintendo store if you do play the Switch. I don't know if it's mobile available or not. I don't tend to play games on my mobile devices. I typically play them on my Switch or on my Steam Deck. But if you're into that type of thing, check it out. It's a really cute game. And again, it's by an independent gaming company. It's, for me, buying indie games is like shopping small. These are small companies. They probably are only going to release 1 or 2 games in their time. So I'll try them. I'll play them. And if I like them, then I'll look out for the next game. And I'll probably buy that one too. Getting back into more nerdy stuff, I watch a lot of anime. I don't mind if it's subtitled, but if I am watching it in the background while I'm crocheting, because I have to actually look when I'm crocheting, I will make sure that it is dubbed, which basically means that the voiceover is in English instead of having to watch the subtitles. So if I'm knitting, I don't mind subtitles, but if I am crocheting or doing some other task where I can't constantly be looking at the screen, I will try to watch it dubbed. So here are some of the most recent animes that I'm either currently watching or have finished. So Heaven's Official Blessing, I have watched this through probably about 4 times, and I have read the books as well. Big fan, and there's a 2nd season out now. In the past, this is a Chinese anime, and in the past I have solely listened or watched it subtitled. Now it is out with English dub. So if you are a fan of Heaven Official's Blessing, check it out. If you have been waiting for the English dub version, it is available now on Crunchyroll in English. Raven of the Inner Palace is a great book series. There are, I think, 3 books, and they are light novels. Raven of the Inner Palace comes as a light novel, and then they made it into an anime, and it is really, really good. If you're into watching, I want to say it's Chinese based, and so it's type ancient China vibes. I don't know the exact day or dynasty that it's supposed to take place in, but it's good. It's great. It's got a little bit of mysticism in there and some history, obviously some drama with, you know, the emperor's court and so on. That's great. On the same type of wave, you have the Apothecary Diaries, which I believe comes as a manga and not a light novel, but it is now an anime. Again, you're dealing with Chinese, one of the dynasties, and you're dealing with, you know, courtesans and the emperor and the emperor's wives and subsequent sons. So if you like that type of thing, check out those two. Another one that I finished just recently, now Apothecary Diaries and Raven of the Inner Palace are still ongoing. So check those out. They're not finished yet. I finished, though, binged it in one day. It was really good. That's how good it was. I finished Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and that is about a group of adventurers who fights this war to save basically the whole world. They're all different races, kind of D&D style. You know, you've got the cleric and the knight and the I don't think he's a barbarian, warrior, and, you know, the mage. But anyway, at the very end of this war, they all kind of go their separate ways. And one of the characters, who is an elf, lives for thousands of years. And so she just kind of takes this journey. And she learns about herself along the way, and about magic, and about life, and about people around her. It's a really sweet anime. It's pretty short. I think it's only 9 or 10 episodes. Very binge-worthy, one-day type of thing if you're willing to sit down and watch it. If not, you know, a couple a day for a week, and you could have it done very easily. It's definitely something that I would possibly watch again. Very sweet. My Life is a Villainess. That's kind of along the same lines as the two manhwa that I was reading. My Life is a Villainess follows this girl who this is an isekai. She gets basically deposited into the body of the villainess of the story, and she has to do everything she can to make sure that she doesn't run into her doom plots. And those are the situations in the story or in the video game that she got transported into that would cause the love interests of the story to basically off her. She makes it through. Spoiler alert. There's a second season and an OVA. It's really sweet. It's really great. I would definitely give it a watch if you're into quirky, funny, and usually this takes place around a kingdom with kings and barons and whatnot, but it's got like a little Japanese twist to it. It's really cute. Another one I've been watching, Rising of the Shield Hero. There are 3 seasons now. I'm on season 2. This one's really great. Another isekai, transported into another world. This guy is chosen as what's called the Shield Hero, and has to basically save the world while everyone thinks that a shield isn't a weapon, and he gets kind of dissed the whole time. And he has to kind of go along his way proving everyone wrong. The last one I've been watching is called The Saint's Power is Omnipotent. Another isekai. If you hadn't noticed the trend, I tend to like adventure animes or more slice of life cozy animes. I like something that I could either physically watch and be immersed in, or I could read it and be immersed in it. I'm not into like action animes or, you know, the typical, you know, like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. Those just aren't my cup of tea, and that's fine. That's everybody's preference. Anyway, the Saint's Power is Omnipotent. A woman gets called into another world. Like I said, it's an isekai, as the saint, because she possesses some magical powers that are supposed to save the world. And along the way, she learned a lot about herself and is able to live a peaceful life. There's 2 seasons. Second season is still ongoing, I think. And it's a really sweet anime. I like shows that are going to, regardless of whether they're live action or anime, foreign or English, where the characters are going to grow and they kind of endear themselves to you, which is really nice. I also like silly stuff that I can just binge through and not have to really pay attention to. So I should have put a marker in with how far I started. I've just been kind of going with my knitting. I hope you are okay with my yammering. This is kind of keeping me, again, my knitting's keeping me busy, and I'm just kind of talking about the things that I do and I like to do. I mentioned in my first video that these are all going to be hats, and these are all going to be hats for Knit the Rainbow. So that's really exciting. This is another hat for Knit the Rainbow. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put tags on them or not. Probably not, just for ease of wear and washing. I do typically put leather tags with Saturday Knit Live on them when I make items and give them away or make items for myself, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with these yet. I did start swatching for my next sweater. If you watched my first video, you saw that I have a sweater in a bag over there that I have to frog. I should have done that for today. Maybe I'll do that for the next studio session, just sit here and frog my sweater. Probably cry while I'm doing it. Just kidding. I've come to terms with the fact that it doesn't fit and it needs to be frogged, and that's okay. But I did start swatching for my next sweater, and it's going to be the Boxy by Joji Locatelli. I'll put a picture of it here. I'm going to be knitting it out of Millefiori Light by Barocco. I have just enough. I have 5 skeins of it, and I finished swatching, and I met gauge. First time off the bat, I didn't have to change my needles, and because it's a light and airy single ply yarn, if you can see, it's so colorful. Anyway, because it's only a single ply, it's going to be, ooh, kicked my table. It's going to be more of a flowy sweater, which I'm fine with. It's kind of a cropped over the shoulder, or drop shoulder. I think the shoulder goes here, and then it's a tighter sleeve, like a 3/4 sleeve. So I plan to wear like a tank top or a t-shirt underneath it anyway, so I'm not terribly worried about the sheerness of the fabric. Plus it gets pretty warm at work, so having a thinner fabric for the sweater will make it more wearable for work. I don't mind wearing a sweater or a thicker shawl or something like that, because once I get to work it gets pretty warm. So yeah, I finished that swatch. I did not block the swatch because, in all honesty, the pattern says to get gauge with blocking, and I would have only gone up a half of a stitch with blocking, and that would have met gauge. So I met gauge in my brain, and it's perfectly fine. This is meant to be a boxy sweater. It's meant to be oversized. So if worse comes to it and it's too oversized, it's knit bottom up, I'll make it work. I did get a different color of Millefiori, and I have 4 skeins of this color, which is darker. It's more jewel tony, whereas the other one is a bit brighter. If I can make it through the first boxy with 4 skeins, I might make a second one with 4 skeins of that. If not, I'll make that into something else. Maybe a featherweight which is this type of sweater by Hedgehog Fibers. This is a free pattern. It's a very kind of open, lacy cardigan with short sleeves. It's very long, so I might be able to get away with that. You use bigger needles than you need, and so your gauge is very open. So that I think would be fun. Or I might pair it with something to make a thicker gauge, maybe. I haven't decided. Anyway, I think I'm gonna do a couple more rounds here without talking. We'll play the music and just get a little bit more crafting done, a little bit more making done, and we'll just relax for a little while and unwind. I am going to end my knitting here on the wrong side row, and let's see. I think this hat is halfway done. I'm going to stick a marker in here and weigh my skein, see how much is left. I might knit a few more inches, maybe an inch or two more, so it can be slouching, can flip up, and I'll start knitting the other half and then the decreases. Whatever's left in here will probably go into my northeasterly blanket here, and I'll have to pick up a new hat. I had a great time chatting with you today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope to see you in 2 weeks when we have our next video, and we'll talk about WIPs, we'll talk about FOs, we'll talk about acquisitions, and all the fun things that are happening. So check us out in 2 weeks for our wrap-up session, where I will talk to you about everything that's happened for December as far as knitting and crafting, what's happened during the holidays, and what's going to be happening for January. I am so happy to have talked with you and happy you could join us, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.